So, tips ensure prompt service. I came across this while scrolling through social media one day. I thought to myself, well, how does a server know you're going to tip well and give you prompt service? Regardless, as a server, I must do my best to deliver quality service. Sometimes this renders a good 20-cent or above tip, and at times it doesn't. This raises the question, should servers make minimum wage or above? I currently work as a server while attending school. I see both ends of the spectrum. At times I make more than minimum wage, but it really depends on the business of the restaurant and how the clientele is tipping. So, for my need or problem, I put, should servers make minimum wage or above? Serving has been one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, believe it or not. From the outside, it may seem simple, but juggling 3 or more tables with unlimited soup, salad, and breadstick refills can be a challenge. So I guess you guys probably could guess where I work. Just imagine being in a server's shoes. You're making $4.83 an hour, you've got 3 tables to wait on, 2 of these tables have 4 people dining, and the third has 6. You know you've done your best for these tables, bringing refills before requested, bringing extra breadsticks before you've been asked to, assuring that their substitutions were rang in correctly. The table of 6 ran up a $140 bill and left you an $8 tip. That's not even 10%. I think you might be a little upset. In an article called Points of View, No Tip Restaurants, this problem is not black or white. There are many factors that play into service received and tips rendered. Some wait staff receive much higher rates of tips due to various reasons. Race and sex can play a part in the quality of service received by the customer, as well as the tip amount received by the server. Prejudice can also affect the quality of service customers receive. According to the 2013 Slate article by Jay Porter, a restaurateur who operated a no-tip restaurant, if customers belong to a demographic that the server stereotypes as poor tippers, they may receive worse service than a customer who did not belong to that group. Proponents of no-tip restaurants are also characterize tipping as unfair to customers on a financial level. According to economist Zagorski, writing for the Wall Street Journal, the practice of tipping shifts the burden from paying the workers from the restaurant owner to the customer. He also emphasized the view on many share that eliminating tipping would put an end to confusion over how much one should tip, as well as possible math errors. Satisfaction or solution. Let's talk tips versus wages. In another article titled Counterpoint Customer Reserve, the Right to Hold Waitstaff Accountable, 68% of tipped restaurant employees would choose a tipped position over one that guaranteed wage of $15 an hour but no tips. The opposite train of thought is, end quote, the opposite train of thought is no-tip restaurants where servers are paid at higher minimum wage. This would be funded by increased food and drink prices or additional service fees. In this thought, it would create an equitable workplace, increasing customer and employee contentment. I believe that if tipping is removed and a higher hourly wage is implemented, it will cause decline in service. Some people do take pride in their work and others do not. I believe that the current tipping method should stay in place. I'm going to talk a little bit, like at work, some servers show up, and they're really motivated. They put on makeup or they're comb, some people don't even comb their hair, but, and they're motivated, they want to be there and they want to give good service. And then sometimes I see people in the back just texting on their cell phone or their tables need refills and stuff. So I really, after doing all this and really, putting my mind to it, I'm like, I think tipping is a good way to go. So what is the forecast? In my opinion, the continued practice of tipping equals A, satisfied customers happy with their dining experience, which leads to positive social media posts and word of mouth. This is good all the way around. Good for the employees at the restaurant and the customers. Waitstaff are happy with their employment and are able to pay their bills, as well as give bigger tip outs to bartenders, hosts, bussers, and kitchen staff. I don't know if everybody knows what tip outs are, but we tip out the bussers or the cooks or whatever, just for helping you out through the night. The call of action or through the day. The next time, okay, so it's not just a one-way street. We as servers have to do our part, but the guests need to do their part too and treat you, good. The next time you go out to eat, at a sit-down restaurant, be kind and courteous to the staff at the restaurant. In most cases, if I approach a table that is smiling and speaking politely and upbeat, it's easier for me to bring out my personality. When I'm feeling like myself, it's easier to communicate with guests and give them the highest level of service I can. Also, be patient within reason. It is hard to keep a positive attitude as a server when customers become upset they don't immediately receive what they requested. I could tell you a lot of stories about that, but I won't go into it. I've had guests stare at me from across the room after requesting something, an example, a refill, while I'm quickly checking on another table. Maybe the table I'm checking on needs a refill as well. It only makes sense to go to the alley once rather than twice to get refills. It cuts down on time, and I'm going to get your stuff faster. Finally do it that way. In an article from Study Track's waitstaff reaction to difficult customers, the most popular response was making fun of people behind their backs, which was cited by 79% of participants. Ignoring customers, making them wait longer than necessary, and being rude also were high on the list. It just makes me think of some of the people I worked with, like these two ladies were being super picky, and then they were rude, and one of the waiters, he's not known for his personality, but he's like, you don't have to be so rude to me, and I was like, that's gonna reflect in his tips later, but, let's see. The way you behave as a guest in a restaurant can directly impact your service you receive. At the end of the meal, gauge your server's performance on their personality, how well they did their service, and how busy the restaurant is. That's another big thing. If the restaurant is super busy, don't expect your server to be there like right away, because and that's too, different restaurants have different standards. When you walk into the Olive Garden and you're sat at a table, they expect me to be there with coasters in hand, because that's how they know we greeted you within 30 seconds. If I've got a table asking for a refill, another table's food is up, and I'm supposed to be there in 30 seconds to greet them, it gets difficult. So serving isn't like, I don't know, it can be tough. On the server side, they need to, on the server side, they need to step up and let their personality show. A positive attitude and conversation goes a long way toward receiving a higher tip. People are more likely to look past the server's mistakes if they've enjoyed the server's company. They, of course, also need to do their best to provide quality service. In summary, do I believe tips ensure prompt service? I think so, but it takes teamwork to receive prompt service, from the host to the kitchen, the busters, the dishwashers, and you, the guest. Please keep all what I said in mind the next time you sit down at a restaurant. Thank you for listening.